Okay, this is a Sunday afternoon. It's beautiful weather out again, and I'm making a run to the store. Got to pick up a few essentials. Had a great day today. This is the first chance I've had to get on the bike. But the lighting's good. I know you guys are getting tired of these soybeans, but this is my way to the store, so we got to go buy them. And they're still just as yellow as they were. Alrighty, well, it's been a great day today. Turned 62 today. Took a long time to get here, 62 years, right? Yeah, I've had all kinds of people wish me a happy birthday, and it's really nice to hear from people, you know, let you know that they're thinking about you. So it's just been a great day. I'm gonna top it off here with a little ride up to the store. Alrighty. You know, I think I figured out why I like my open face helmet so much. For some reason, when I'm riding, my nose itches all the time. And this way I can scratch it without having to go through a lot of trouble. Boy, that feels nice to do that. Drives me crazy when I'm riding along and all of a sudden it'll itch and I'm in my full face or something, and especially with the camera on the chin, man, it's just about impossible to get up underneath the edge of the helmet to scratch an itch. So I always end up having to throw open the shield, and that means a big blast of wind for the microphone and for me. But not a bad reason to like an open face helmet. Of course, and the view. You know, it's funny, things you don't consider. All of a sudden a light goes on and, you know, a little something triggers something in your mind. At least that's what happens to me. Maybe that's just means I have a faulty brain. But anyway, my sister posted something on Facebook the other day, or actually it was yesterday, which was the 18th. The 18th was my father's birthday. Now, if he were alive today, this would have been his 100th birthday yesterday. And I'll save you some of the math. When I was adopted by my mother and father, he was 38 years old. Now, she was a little younger, but I'm not going to mention my mother's age, because I'm sure she'll figure out a way to reach out of the grave and strangle me if I do. But he would have been 100 years old yesterday. But I got to thinking about it. You know, my grandkids, their dad, he's young. You know, he had them when he was young, and he's been raising them along, and my oldest grandkid is 12 now, and he's just barely over 30, so, you know, he's been pretty young raising these kids, and he's done a great job of it. But I got to thinking about my dad, you know, and my dad was pretty old when he got me, you know, and by the time I got up to 10 and, you know, around 10, 12 years old, and, you know, was into sports and, you know, all that kind of stuff, and super active. Well, he would have been 50. Been 50 by then. How in the world he kept up with all the stuff that we did? I know when I was 50, I couldn't have begun to keep up with a 12-year-old. But he really put it out there on the line for my sister and I, and he really was a great dad. He did it all for us. We really miss him. But you know, we'll never forget him. Okay, made it to the store. See if we can find a good spot to park. There's one. Alrighty, my first time doing this thing the way I always anticipated doing it. The new camera mount. Gonna unclip it and put it in the saddlebag. Just have a regular old helmet to put on my bike here. All right. Well, I'll see you guys in just a bit. Okay, worked just like it was supposed to. Like I planned it that way. Alrighty. Well, you got the needed supplies. Time to head back to the house. Oh, I do love riding this motorcycle. Take you a little different way home today from the store. There's our Domino's. Yeah, well, a little bit of an angle into the sun here, and again, I apologize for the shield, but you know, it's just can't keep the doggone thing dirty. We haven't got cold enough to kill the bugs off yet. You can't keep it clean, excuse me. I keep it easy to keep it dirty, but yeah, the bugs just haven't died off yet. This is our main drag out of Locust, headed toward the big city of Charlotte. And got to watch my speed through here. Locust is famous throughout the county and surrounding areas, a place where if you go fast, they will get you. So we try to keep it a little bit around the posted speed limit here. I don't really ride that fast anyway, but you know, it's easy to slip up a little bit. They'll usually let 5 go, but you get up around 10 over and they'll look at you funny. So, alrighty, here's some of the built up areas. None of this was here when I moved out here 25 years ago or so. And you know you've made it when you get a regional little mini hospital kind of thing, urgent care, and by golly, we got us a Walmart. We are made it into the world when we get us a Walmart. And the associated little stuff, McDonald's, all that good stuff. Alrighty, well, we have now passed through the business district for Locust and entering Cabarrus County, which is our next county. I'll take you up a little side road up here. The sun won't be in our faces for long here. I know I haven't taken you down this way. I really want to take you up here on a road to the right here soon. It's called Reed Gold Mine Road. Is a actual gold mine that's still, it's not in operation. At least I don't think it is. If the price of gold gets any higher, they might put it back in operation. But it's a museum basically, and they do tours through it and all that stuff. And it's right up that way. We'll get to it another day when I've got more time. Right now, I got to get the supplies home so we can have some supper here in just a little bit. But this is an interesting little road here. Just a little cut through, one of the many little places through here, but it's a little bit up and downy. Not so twisty, but got little interesting views, some old torn down or tearing down buildings and things like that. Go through the dark here just a little bit. Couple of pretty cool old silos up here on the right. I don't know when they quit using them. If I can find them, they're right up over the hill here somewhere. Oh, there they are. You can see what I mean about these little hills in here? It's kind of cool. There they are right there. It's a nice little area back through here. I cut through here sometimes, like now, when I'm going to Wally World. Take a little shortcut. And just kind of varies things up a little bit. Get tired of going the same way all the time, don't you? Alrighty. I could go straight. That would take us out onto a road we've been on many times, but I thought I'd show you some of these. Get a picture of some of this countryside out here. Coming into the city limits of Stanfield. That's the little town near me. But I do live out in the county. They have not managed to take us into the city yet. But, you know, maybe it's a matter of time. I don't know. They don't seem to be working on it very hard right now. Which is fine with me. I like living out in the country. I like not really being in the city. Not that it's a bad city. It's a nice little place. But I wanted to live in the country all my life. I grew up in the city, and so I want to stay out here as long as I can. Just now getting a chance to enjoy it. You know, people always ask me, what's this place like out here? And I said, well, heck, I don't know. I'm always at work. So all that's going to change. And I'll be able to check out some more of these little side roads and little places that I've actually never been. And I'll take you along with me when I do it. And if they're interesting little places, I'll post them for you. But you know, you never know. Never know what you're going to find around the next corner. All right, well, we're coming up on a road you know very well, so I'll bop out again. Yeah, back again. I know we've been on this road quite a bit, but was thinking about something. I mentioned my dad earlier. Would have been 100 years old yesterday, and just wanted to mention a little bit about my mother and he. He was in World War II. He was in the Army Corps of Engineers, and he spent 1 month shy of 4 years over in Europe, and mostly in England. He got as far as Belgium before the war in Europe was over, and could have finished up with the rank of a lieutenant colonel. And he could have been a full colonel if he'd agreed to stay just 1 more month. But he was married to my mom, and he hadn't seen her in almost 4 years, and he said, no, I want to go home. And so he did. And he settled into life after the war. He got a really good job. Worked for several different companies before finally ending up with a major construction company that he ended up actually retiring from. He made it up to vice president in charge of equipment for them. He was responsible for buying equipment and making sure that all the jobs all over this part of the country that they had had the right amount of equipment in it and the right stuff. So that's what he finished up at. But what I wanted to mention about him was, he and my mother tried to have a family, of course, after the war, like so many did, and they just weren't lucky. My mother had a total of 3 miscarriages, and at the end of the third one, it was just decided that she just wasn't going to be able to have any more, and so they had to give up on that idea. But then through means that I'm just not aware of how they did it or why or whatever, but they considered adoption, and they went through the process, and they got me. 61 years and about, I don't know, 7 or 8 months ago, Sarah and Walter Smith adopted me, and provided just the absolute best home any kid could ever want. They were older parents, but they loved me like they'd had me. And a few years later, they adopted my sister, and loved her too. You know, they were absolutely the best parents. People have asked me, you know, are you curious about your birth parents? Don't you want to know? And honestly, I don't. It's not important to me. I know who my mother and father were. I don't know what the circumstances were that led to me being put up for adoption. In this state, North Carolina, it's extremely difficult to find that out. In fact, I think the only way you can find out is if the parents agreed when they gave you up, that if at some time you came looking for them and wanted to know who they were and to find out about them, they had to give that permission ahead of time. And I've never checked. I've never asked for that to see if that was the case. You know, I do owe them a debt. They could have gone another way, but they didn't. They went the hard way. She had me and she gave me up. And for that, I'll be eternally grateful to a woman I'll never know. But, you know, it's just one of those things. Well, one cool thing about, a lot of people don't know this, and maybe it isn't with all adopted kids, it was with us. On the day that we came to live with our new parents, that was considered a special day, and it was like a birthday, sort of like a mini birthday. And you didn't invite your friends over or anything like that. It was just a inside the family day, but it was a special day, and we always celebrated it. And I miss being able to celebrate that with my folks. My mother's been gone for, gosh, almost a little over 25 years now, and my dad just 7 now. But you know, it was kind of cool being adopted. I didn't know hardly anybody else that had been. Every now and then you'd run across somebody, and you know, but not that it's special. I mean, anything like that. It's, you know, I know my mom and dad would have loved to have had me the good old-fashioned way. You know, I wish I was blood related, but again, you know, to me it doesn't really matter. You know, like I said, I had the best parents in the world. Just thought I'd share that with you. Oh, look at the deer. Can you see that deer right there? Look at her go. Wow. That's a nice little finish to this ride. All right, well, you guys take care. I'm going to keep an eye out for more deer. And thanks for tuning in, and hope you had a great weekend like I did. And I'll talk at you later. Take care. Bye-bye.